All right, good morning, good morning. How's it going, Predator, Jaybird? Good morning. Do a little audio check here. Let's see if we got some audios. All right, good morning, good morning. All right, looks like we got some audio there. Good to go, good to go. So we're trying to, I kind of changed my setup here overnight, so it's a little new to me this morning. I might be find myself looking in the wrong spot for stuff because stuff's all over in different spots. You see, we got a little bit different of a camera angle. It was either coming from underneath or coming from above, and that above angle's a little better. So if you guys can't see my eyes, just sorry. There's not much I can do about that. So let's see here. So let's take a look from yesterday. Let's see where we closed at. We closed at the 89, 14,989 looks like. Is that right? Let's just go back and look. That's what that says right there. So we had a pump up right there into close. So yeah, 989 is where we closed at. So we got a bit of a gap to the upside here. What is that? 120 point gap to the upside there. Oh yeah, I need to put the ES somewhere. Where do I put the ES at? I guess we'll just because I didn't realize, but when I move these arms around, move these monitors, I have 4 monitors normally, 227s, 232s, but because I moved them around, I'm only able to use 3 today until I had to order a new set of arms to hold the monitors because I had like a dual arm setup in the middle. I wanted to do an over and under instead of a side-by-side setup on the 27s. Get them horizontal, over and under. And these arms will not do that. So we only got 3 monitors today instead of 4. Not a huge deal, but it is a bit of an adjustment to have space to put everything. All right. Just have to click back and forth. I mean, I don't like having to do that, but it is what it is. So let's open up Twitter right quick. Let's take a look and see what Mancini has to say today. So he says, we continue to play ping pong between 43.35 resistance and 4,300 support. I was looking for a rally yesterday afternoon from 4,300 to 43.35. We hit 35 at 4:30 a.m. and back to 4,300 again. Plan today, same drill. 4,300, 4,290 supports. Weak now. Must hold to keep 43.22 and 43.35 alive. If 42.90 fails, we sell back down to 42.69. So 42.90, obviously support right there at 42.99 right now. So if it fails, we sell down to 69 type deal. So what I do is I like to mark those areas out just to kind of remember what he says. I don't really trade the ES, but we do keep an eye on it occasionally. Got about a minute and a half here until we open. I almost want to move this around a little bit, but I don't really see anything I can do without, to be honest. You jackwagons. Okay. 18. Let me set this account up over here. Where'd it go? All right. Not gonna be doing 7, that's for sure. We'll do 2. Stop loss 30. Take profit 40. Take profit 60. And yep, that's it. None. Okay. So now we do have everything set up, I believe. We have this. We have that. This one. we adjust this one as we get there. This is the one we'll be taking the 5-minute gap strategy after 10 a.m. on. All right, now we're open. See, we got a pivot point up there at 952. 204. Let's check that. Make sure that's the right account right quick. I don't want to make that mistake that I made yesterday. That is not the right account. Is it? No, it is. Okay. So testing the 900s here. Volume coming in strong. Testing the 900s. Get a little pullback. See the VWAP up there at the 940s. So pushing up here. ES pushing up into the 06s. VWAP up there at the 13s. Let's do it this way. Yeah, VWAP up there at the 13. So we're getting a little pullback here. Back below into the 90s. We might could take a long if we start to push back through here. If the ES gets going. Kind of this idea here. You know, let's break out. If we kind of lose this 80 area, then you could be looking at a short. But I like a little consolidation here. Maybe continue to push. Kind of be the idea there. ES pulling back into the 02s. See if this thing gets going. Just watching the WADA over here. Let's see if this thing holds here and pushes up. Pivot point down there at the 58. That's not showing up here yet, is it? I don't see it. Showing me a pivot down there at the 58. It's kind of a deeper pullback than expected. Bouncing now. Let's see here. ES holding up there at the 4300s. All right, let's just check this. All right, we're going to participate here. Let's see if we can't get this push up into the 905s. Might get stopped here. Volume's kind of disappearing. Come on, buyers. Now it's pushing. All right, volume coming in here now. I just got in a little early there. Apparently, I don't know, I guess it stopped me out for a loss. Yep, 245. So pushed up into the 05 like we were expecting, but after it stopped us, I had a little bit too wide of a stop on that one. Or too short of a stop, if you will. Now find somewhere to put this thing. Let's see here. Volume's trying to push through here, but not going yet. Feels bad. It just pulled back, stopped us out, and then went to our target. That's going to happen, I guess, when you got a tight stop like that. I haven't really been taking these opening range trades But that one seemed pretty, you know, seemed like a decent little setup there. It actually played out, but stopped us there. If we get back to pushing here, we kind of get above that 10 area, we probably can go. Just kind of watching. We haven't really got that B to C leg yet. Seller's coming back in here trying to push this thing down. ES holding up there at the 4,300 so far. Just kind of testing this little trend line here. See if we sell through it there or not. See if we kind of hold up at this trend line and start pushing. Seller's trying to pop through here and push this thing down, but unable to do so far. Holding the trend line so far there. All right, see if we get this move into the 20s here. I'm trying to give this thing a little extra room. Might pay the price for it, but come on, volume. Let's go. Push into the 20s. Come on. That wasn't a good look. This thing, I probably should not be participating here, guys, but come on. It wants to go. All right, well, we got some of it back there. I was hoping we get that push into the 30. Volume kind of disappeared there. Some of it back, down 340. Not a great start to the morning there. But let's mark it down. Stop was too short on that first entry. It did hit the target after it stopped me. And then the second one, the volume disappeared. All right, now we're going to wait for this thing to kind of calm down here, and we'll look for some entries. Starting off the day kind of wrong here, so we want to just be careful. How's it going, Josh? What's going on, man? Patience. Yeah. Patience it is. We don't have a whole lot of that sometimes. I haven't been trading the opening range, like these opening trades. I really haven't been taking those, but we decided today we'd take them. And we decided we'd take them on the, I'm copying like 17 accounts over here. So, there you go. So no volume coming in here just yet. There comes the buyers a bit, but we're right there at the explosion line. This thing's in my way. All right, let's see here. Is this thing going to continue to push would be the question there. It's trying. She's a trying. Looks like she's going to retest that 900. Retest the 900 here. ES trying to hold up there at the 04s. So nothing to do here short-wise until we break the 90. But I would imagine this thing's probably going to still try to push. Still got that gap fill to the upside there at the 89s. So 80 points up there. VWAP now at the 935s. You guys can see there. VWAP on the ES is at the 11 area. The 11 area is where the VWAP is. So we got about 3 minutes here on this opening range. We're going to be taking that 15-minute breakout on the opening range there in just a few minutes. As soon as we get that marked in stone, then we will prep that and take it. So retesting the 90s here, looking kind of selly at this point. Let's go ahead and mark out the high here and the low from 930. So that's your high and your low most likely. That's probably going to stay where it is. Not going to take it over here on these accounts. I'll pull the other one over here so you guys can see. Actually, I should probably just go ahead and do that. Let's pull it over here now. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. So this is the account we'll be taking it on here. Let's mark out the high. Let's mark out the low. The high and the low right there. Got just over 2 minutes here for that to kind of be in stone. We'll see what happens. We got news this morning, 9:45, I believe, or maybe 10 a.m. Let me look. All right, we're going to try a long over here on the Bulenox. See if we can just push up into the 30 area there. Long on the Bulenox. Push into the 30 on the first target, 36 or 35 on the second target. Potentially. Might get stopped here. That's okay if we do. Just letting it play out, see what happens. WADA still looks fine. Volume dropping on the WADA now, though. All right, stopped out there on the Buley. We got the signal and we took it. We were up maybe 150 on that one before it stopped us out. All right, now we got, all right, let's make sure we're on the right one here. So it looks like the 15-minute range did change just slightly there. Kind of thinking we're going to take this upside. Again, on the 15-minute range break here, we're taking a strict 2-to-1 risk to reward, or 2.5 to 1. 15 handle stop, 38 handle take profit. We will move the stop. Once we get to 20 handles in profit, if we get there, we'll move the stop to plus 10. Once we get to 30, we'll move it to plus 20, so on and so forth. I'm expecting it to take to the upside. The ES is kind of right there at the VWAP. Don't love that. Nasdaq obviously got the VWAP right there, about 20 points up. So don't love really getting long right there into the VWAP. It's not my favorite thing to do. It's not the favorite setup. But we take what it offers. That's why it's a mechanical strategy. There's no thinking involved. You just take it. So I think that news is at 10 a.m. Yeah, it's jolts at 10 a.m. We got jolts today at 10 a.m. there. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. We do appreciate it. It helps the channel. Sellers coming in here, still hanging out in the middle of this range right now. Retesting the 900s. Right in the middle of the range. Again, we'll just take it off and put it where it needs to be. So let's kind of hold it here for a second until we know, get an idea of what direction it'll be there. So we're taking the 15-minute opening range here on the APEX 150K account. And then we'll be taking the 5-minute gap strategy on both the Topstep 150K and the APEX 150K. Forgot to take it on the APEX 150K yesterday, so I did work on it. I don't know if you guys remember when I ended the stream yesterday. I think I was down about $700 on that account, but we did a little Undertaker move and got it to plus 1,600 by the end of the day. So we are back in the green on that account. It's kind of holding up here at the 90, bouncing. A little push back up before we sell off. Is that what we're doing? We're just going to hang out in this 15-minute range until this news comes out. That could be also. And again, on this mechanical strategy, we don't really care if news comes out. Doesn't matter if there's news or not. We still take the entries. So we still take the entry, news or no news. I don't know. The move to the downside looks a bit more interesting to me than the move up, to be honest, just because we have the VWAP there, the pivot at the 50, but I'm going to take it whichever way it goes, I guess. Yeah, we're going to very similar long over here on the Bulenox again. It's telling me to take another long, so we're going to give it a shot. 20 to 25. Watching the WADA here. I may take this off early if that volume doesn't come through and push. So first target 20, second target 25, 2 contracts. First target filled. So second target's going to move up now. All right, target 2 filled. There we go. So that gets us back in the green on that account, $200. We are currently long over here on the 15-minute strategy. As you see, we burst through there. Got to go through this area strong here. We need 45, looks like, in order to lock in profits there. We need 45. Come on. Let's go. You got more. Volume looking good. Like I said, we need it to at least hit 45 in order to lock in profits here. If it's 45, we move our stop to 35. So let's see if this thing can push. Losing steam, not looking great. ES pushed above the VWAP there. As you can see, the Nasdaq just dipped above it as well. Got to get some more energy here and continue to push. If this thing pulls back below that VWAP at all, then we're probably going to be stopped. So let's see if we can at least lock into 35 here. All right, I think we can now. I think we're long from 35. I don't even know where we're long from. 25.38. So one more tick. It's 35.50. So now, once we get to 55, if we get there, we can lock in 10 more handles. You do got the pivot there at 52, so it's going to take some strength to get through there. Got to go right through that pivot if we're going to go. ES above the VWAP here. Got to go right through that pivot strong. Come on. I want to lock in the 45 now, but there we go. Now we can lock in the 45. And now we just let her ride. So now it's either target or stop. Oh, I didn't realize this thing had two. I didn't even notice that. Good thing I looked down. I don't know why it's not trying to put them both in the same spot there. It keeps moving it. Oh, well. I don't know why it keeps moving it. So 63.50 or a bust here. Seems like we might get a push through here. Volume is kind of disappearing though. Oh, stopped us out on 1. And now 2. So there we go. Locking in 20 handles there on the 15-minute strategy. We did use 2 contracts on that one. So let's see what that yielded us. $820. So we're now at $152,342 on that account. And this account's at 154.89.34. So let's switch over to 34. And this will be for one contract on this one. And this will be the 5-minute gap strategy. So we're going to change it over to the 5-minute here to keep a look at it. We'll also be watching that over here as well. So we'll switch back and forth occasionally. Now, just for curiosity, let's move this up to our target, which was 66.50. And then let's move this up to our entry right there, or actually to where our stop would have been. So our stop would have been down here at 10.50. This is just out of curiosity. I want to see if this would have got hit first or this. My feeling is we're probably going to hit this target. I mean, it's, you know, looking that way, right? So this might be a case where moving the stop costs me 18 handles, but a lot of times it doesn't. Got to go. We'll see you printing. All right. Appreciate it, Josh. Thanks, Predator. If I don't see y'all's comments right away, it's because I'm having to switch back and forth today, guys. We got one less monitor. All right. I'm pretty sure we hit 66.50 right there. Yeah. Well, no, that's 66. No, wait a second. 55. Yeah, it cost us. I don't think my stop was at 55. It was at 45, wasn't it? So 24, we moved to 35. We moved to 45. Yeah, it wicked back down and took us out. And then it hit the target there. That's all right. It's going to happen sometimes. It's going to happen sometimes like that with moving the stop. Sometimes it's good for you. Sometimes it's bad for you. So still down 340 over here. We need to find another entry on that one. So pushing through the 15s now over there on the ES. Mancini sent out another tweet. We continue now. Is that the new one? The ping pong between 4,300 and 4,335 continues, and we made the full round trip twice yesterday. The current bounce attempt is likely the last shot bulls get, though, off this big multi-month support. So basically he's saying we got to go here. Gots to go. So now we're going to be looking for the first gap to form after 10 a.m. And we will participate in that on both accounts. So we'll take it here on the left, and we'll also take it on this one on the right. But for now, we're looking for an entry either over here on the Buley or the other one. Trading is more important than watching chat. Yeah, true. Now, I normally just have the chat up so I can see it as soon as you guys speak, but this morning, you guys are you're hidden behind a chart. Still kind of sour about that opening move this morning because I was right, but my stop was just in the wrong spot. Too tight. I have the stop tight for, not for opening range trades. Usually I have a 12 to 15 stop opening range. I only have an 8 handle stop for my everyday entries, which is still pretty tight for the Nasdaq. So sellers coming in here trying to push this down. You do got the pivot here. I did get a sell signal, but don't want to take that because of the pivot being right there at the 52s. Still got that gap fill potential up there at the 89s. Probably, you know, up in that area. We do got the jolts coming out here in about 2 minutes. So remember that. It's a 3-star news event. So let's be careful. If you guys are in a trade, just remember. Jolts coming up here in about 2 minutes. So not really much we can do until after this news comes out. Let's see here. Do still got the couple of funded accounts from on Bulenox there. I'm not touching those this week, though. I think I'm going to try to just concentrate on getting the accounts, the challenges that we got going on built up. Then maybe next week we'll get back to trading some of these funded accounts. I want to kind of lock down one strategy and stick to it, to be honest with you. I'm doing 2, 3, 4 different things, and I really want to narrow that down by the end of the week to just 1 or 2 things and kind of stick to that. So that's kind of the idea this week. Let's get these things narrowed down and decide which one we like the best. So holding up there at the VWAP on the ES, kind of think if this jolts gets us above that 35, we can really get going there on the ES to the upside. But otherwise, could take us down. You never know. You never know. Up or down. We got 28 seconds. Let's see what happens. see what happens over here. One of the guys said, I need to take a step back or I'm going to go kamikaze mode. One of the other guys responded, don't be a pussy. That's messed up. That's the kind of group I'm in over there. Sellers, sellers, sellers. Ding, 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 ding. It's kind of thing we might go the other way, but nope. Sellers are stepping in here. So sellers coming in strong, pushing this thing down. Not much for us to do here just yet. Let's see if this 5-minute gap forms. I kind of think we're probably going to retrace this move. Typically, that's what we do. See if this thing continues to push or if it starts to push back up here. Quickly back up into the 10s. Get back above 25 there. Maybe we get back to that pivot. ES pulled back into the 98s, holding the whole number there. Trying to push on up. Let's just see here. I don't want to draw it over here, so we'll draw it here. You kind of do a little low to low. Bloop, bloop. Something like that. It's a little skewed, so it really should have went there. But we do have the 90 there, so you really want to see this kind of push through this area if you're going to take a short. But like I said, I think got the potential to retrace this move back to the upside. Seeing as the ES held the 300 level there, and we're starting to push back above the 10s. No volume yet, no green. Waiting for that green volume to come in if we're going to get it. Okay, we're just testing it here, testing it. Let's see. We're going to just push through here. Looking like it. Looking like it might be. We're going to try a short over here on the Buley. Stops at break even. All right, we hit the first target. Second target, 69. I'm going to move it down a little bit to the 60s. Might get stopped here. Stops already into break even. 65, second target down. Want to see a swift move down here. Stops at 79. I'm going to move that target down further. It's going to keep stair-stepping this target down. And we're either going to get stopped or we're going to hit our target. All right, we got stopped there. So we're up $610 on that account. So we got to see if this 5-minute candle closes here. Obviously, this is the... we're on 3 now. We're on the 3-minute. Never mind. And the 1 minute here. This is the 5-minute. So we are working on that 5-minute short candle there. Still moving down here. Volume is not as strong as the first move, obviously. We do have a pivot right here at the 59 area. It's kind of right where we're at. ES at the 96s. Once again, Mancini says ES got to hold that 90 or we're going to see the 60s for a sell down. Thank you. Thank you, Predator. I know you guys didn't see that trade, but obviously I share things with you guys, so we'll show you there. $610. You can see that top account there is the funded account. And then, yep. So that's where we're at for now. We were up yesterday like $700 on an account, and then I just went kamikaze myself and blew it after lunch. So try not to do that today. ES back down to the 95s here. Low of day 92.50. Low of day 47 on the NAS here. Looks like it might want it. Looks like it might want that 47. So that first 5-minute candle is about to close. We'll see if that gap stays open. This is going to be a huge gap. So I hope that we hope it closed this in a little bit. I don't want to have a stop all the way up here from 74. That's a 120 point stop. So hopefully we close that gap just a little bit. I mean, of course, we'll take it wherever we got to take it at, but, you know. Sellers are kind of holding up here. ES is approaching the support right there at 90. So not an area you want to short, really. You could. All right, ES is at 90 now. Let's wait. Let's zoom in here. Make sure I got my, so I don't have my blue line quite where it needs to be. There we go. So there's the WADA. WADA, we got some buyers coming back in here. ES bouncing off the 90 back up to the 95. Nasdaq bouncing off the 42s. It did take that liquidity there at the lows. Getting a buy signal over here. Do we take it? Do we take it? We don't have all four things in the same color, so we're not going to take it. Just trying to stick to that simplicity over there on that one. So bounce right off that 90 support area there on the ES. If the NAS can get back above the 55 here, maybe we get going. You got the pivot right there. Where's that pivot at? 59? Yeah, 59. 58. It's kind of holding below the pivot right now. ES testing the 90 once again. Is it going to bounce off the 90 this time, or are we going to make it through there? So once again, the 5-minute gap right now is huge. I mean, this is a huge gap. And we want to kind of get this gap closed up a bit. We don't want it to be this big, but we'll take it if it is. But man, huge humongous gap right there. Somebody hit the sell button. I don't know who did, but somebody did. All right, ES through the 90s now. Testing it down to 87. See if this thing loses it. I'd like to see it push back up into the VWAP. That'd be nice. That's what we'd like to see. Push back up into the VWAP. You know, still leave a gap, but not a huge gap. Close this thing up a bit. So ES down to 86.75, pushing back up to the 88. This thing holds below 90. We just could be in sell mode here. Looks like that's what's happening. That begs the question, do you just get short? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. You could, but I don't think you do. I mean, look at this. This is either going to be a ginormous winner or a no trade or a ginormous loser. Because we're going to be short, presumably at 863, and the stop's going to be at 975. So it's a 112 point stop, looking for 224 point take profit. 224 points. I mean, you're talking about $4,500 almost in a single trade. So it's either going to be a no trade or, I don't know, huge. I don't know if we're going to move down 200 points. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I guess it's possible. Anything is possible. Kind of took that liquidity there from yesterday. Still some relatively equal lows there. I mean, I guess the next liquidity is down here at 650. Down to the downside. That is almost 200 points down. That's quite possible. Did not quite get the gap fill there. It's pretty close. So this is our 5-minute gap, guys. This is our 5-minute gap. So as much as I don't want to, that's the entry. 450 ticks on the stop. 500 ticks on the take profit. So short from 63.50. Stop at 976. Take profit at 738.50. There we go, guys. Let's go. This might be a huge trade or a huge loss. It's either going to be a $4,000 winner or a $4,000 loser, or a $2,000 loser. Big swings, one direction or the other, right? I mean, you enter these trades not knowing whether or not they're going to work. So let's see, what is that? Is that 200? So let me look and see how many points that is, and we can figure out the 75% mark. So 863 down to 738.
Order filled.
Oh, am I wrong on that? 863 down to 738. That's only 125 handles. 863 to 976. Okay, something's wrong here. My math is wrong. The math is wrong. 976 minus 863. So that's 113 handles. So 863 minus 226. 637. That's where the take profit is. $637. All right. There we go. All right, we're short. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and move this one off the screen. I'm going to leave that one on there. They're both in the same trade. They're both in the same trade there, so. ES just selling all the way down to the 84s here. Already about to test the 800s. Wow. Sell, sell, sell. Yeah, we're already up $1,500 on this entry. Wow. Kind of shocking. Oh, yeah, we're going to figure out what we need to get to the 75% mark. I forgot. Forgot while I was looking at that. So it's 226 times. All right, 226. So 170 points. So from 863. So it's 693. So if we make it there, then we can log in a 1-to-1, which is 113 points. So 863 minus 113, 750. Alrighty, ES already down to the 78s. Mancini called the 63s, all the way back down into the 60s. So you guys have no idea how hard it is not to lock in some profits right here. I mean, you're at $1,500. You'd hate for it to come back and stop you out for, a $2,000 loss. But let's give it a go. This was a nice little setup here. I wasn't looking. But that there was a nice little breakdown setup. No whole number, no nothing here. So as soon as it broke the low of that candle, 838, could have took the short there. I mean, this might give us what we need and quick. I mean, the sell is on at this point. All the way down into the 770. ES down to the 73. Mancini just tweeted out again. Let's check out what he's talking about. Pro says 4,300 was the last shot Bulls will get. The last shot it was. ES got a good 15 points before finally cracking. 69, 42.54 is the next down, 54 to 58. In order to set a major low, 4,300 must reclaim. We might need the 50s in order to get what we need. We might need the 50s on the ES there. After seeing us up $1,500, I'm like, man, why did I take this over here? You can't do it like that though, right? It's not how it works. It's not quite how she works. Trying to see if this thing is copying across all the accounts or if it's only taking a few of them. It's hard to know sometimes with this thing. It does different things on different days. I was going to split it up today, but then I just didn't have time. I was messing with my setup in here and didn't have time to mess with anything. Let's check the top. I was going to separate the Topstep accounts because yesterday I did not take the trades. It seems like it's doing something similar today on the Topsteps. Taking it on some and not on the others. All right. Well, obviously we got to find some more entries to get back in the green over here on that. Buyers coming back in. You know this thing's not going to just go straight down. It's going to bounce around. ES pushing back up into the 80. That's the reason why I like taking this on the Topstep, because even if it did come back and stop us out for a $2,000 loss, we were up $1,000 yesterday, so it's not the end of the world. Doesn't kill your drawdown or anything like that. If you're looking at this from a logical perspective, we do have an order block there. So it could push back up into this order block and then continue selling. And that could be an area where we could take an entry over here. Is this the 1 minute? We are on the 1 minute here. So this would be the break of structure. So 817. Yeah, these line up with each other too. So it could potentially take a short right here at 818. Stop would have to be up there at the 849 though. Is the only thing. If you're wrong, then you're wrong on all the accounts. You do have a gap here also. Fair value gap with an order block above it on the 3 minute chart. On the 3 minute chart there. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. If you're watching and you're not yet subscribed, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel. Man, I kind of want to take this short, but volume coming in there. Oh, man. All right, we're going to take it. I get punished. I got to move this stop. Come on. I think it closed out some of my positions. Crap. Did it? I think it did. I don't know how many. I do think it closed out some. I was going to move the stop into profit there, but really just give it room. Should be fine. There we go. All right. What? Oh. Did you see that, guys? Did that? I don't understand what's going on there. How did we lose money here? I do not understand that. How did I lose money on that trade? Can you guys explain that to me? Okay, so I guess on that account, so we're up 105, down 80. So on those four, down 355. I guess it closed down. How did it close most of my positions out there? I'm confused because that hit the 10 handle profit target, but it didn't give me the 10 handle profits on any of the accounts, not a single one. I mean, I think on one of the accounts we're up 100, we're up $100. So it gave it to me on one of the accounts. I guess maybe it closed, I don't know. I guess it closed the positions on all the other ones except for that one. Must have. Who knows? I don't really know. I don't know what happened there. It looked like we got the 10 points though, but not sure. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I'm mistaken. I mean, I was tried to move the stop, but I didn't get it moved fast enough, I guess. Stop really needed to at least be up here. Kind of got a little double bottom there, bouncing a little bit. ES pushing back up into the 80. Kind of getting a little consolidation down here in this area. I don't know, because I thought I took the entry right here, 787. Pushed up to 96. And then it pushed down to 75, which would have been 10 handles. I don't know. I guess I'm confused. Should have moved the stop right away. That's probably my mistake. Should have moved it right away. Right away would have been good. So yes, back up to the 81s here. To be fair, I was entering short there towards the bottom, towards the low of day, and probably not the greatest of ideas, but I do think it's going to sell off. Don't like the idea of having to have a 50 handle stop on the short, though. I kind of think it's going to trade up here to the 18 area, but your stop would have to be at 49. So 41 handle stop. May not make it up there to that area, but that's kind of what I was thinking. Still got a small gap here as well that is kind of holding so far. Could just take the short right there. Assuming it's just going to sell. So what time is it? 10:27. So it's coming into that time of day where I'm not going to take the strategy over here off stream. Although, man, I should have taken this one. It just gave me the sell signal, and I just saw it just too late. Down 10 points on it already. Right back down to the lows almost. Is this one where I could put the... You could put the sell stop in on this one. Let's try it. So if it creates another... I don't know if I love it. But if it creates another red candle down, it will tag me in. Do I take this or not? I don't know. Let me look at the WADA. Yeah, I guess we can take it.
Order filled.
All right, we're in from 77, looking for 67 here. The sellers don't come in, I'm just going to kill it. We'll make it stop. Stopped out already. It's in that time of day where probably shouldn't be taking these anyway. Still up $310 on that trade there, on this strategy over here. So I do think I'm going to end that strategy until we get past that 11:15 area. We are right there at the time of day where we kind of start chopping on that one. Want to push through here. Don't want to triple bottom. Although we do got a bit of an idiot box going on right here. Hold on one second. Alrighty, we're back here. So it kind of sucks. Gave a little bit back there on that Rinko strategy over here. I knew better than taking that, but we took it anyway. Do got a little bit of a short setup kind of performing here. I mean, I hate taking these little, we're trying to take the breakouts here of the, I'm not going to take it. Obviously, I'm already short over here, but I don't like taking the shorts at the perceived bottom, but we are idiot boxing here. You guys can see there. Kind of idiot boxing. Which is generally what we do this time of day. And then around 11:10, 11:15, we kind of we pick a direction for the lunch hour. So ES down to the 75s once again, trying to push. It made a new low there by just a tick or two. Still just kind of bouncing around here, just consolidating down here in this area. Try not to even pay attention to this trade. Don't want to take it off. You know, if we break through the whatever we got down here, we break through this area 90, then we can lock in some profits. Not before then. Target down there at 637, so testing the top of the idiot box now. Pushing above the 800s here. And rejecting. Coming right back into the idiot box. Idiot box it is. Like I said, I'm okay with the consolidation here. I'm even okay with a pushback up into the 820. I think we can still sell down from there. Got that order block up there at the 820s. Got the 1 minute fair value gap up there as well. You can see it over here on the 1 minute chart. If you're, if you're thinking of taking a short, that would kind of be, that would be the entry right in there. Would be a decent entry. You got the order block right here, along with the fair value gap. So if it just touched it and then whoop, could be a potential entry over here. May not make it back up there though. It may just sell off without it. It very well could. So if you're just now joining us, we are down $360 across, I don't know, like 12 or 13 accounts over here. We're up 800 on another one, 1,300 on another one, 300 on another account. And then we're in this trade over here on the 5-minute on 2 accounts. So we are going to be looking to get those copy traded accounts back to green. We just need one 10-point winner. One 10-point winner. It's all we need. So testing the top of this idiot box once again. It's kind of pushing back up here. See if it makes it into that area there. It's kind of the idea there. Do I have the stones to take the short there is the question. On all my copy accounts. I don't know. I don't know. Do we have the stones to take the short? If it reaches that area. What do you guys think? You think that's a decent short entry? You think that's what we've outlined there makes sense? Or you think that's stupid? Taking the chat's input. Is it stupid or does it make sense? I mean, you certainly could use the B minus Predator. You could use this gap here, right? But you still have to have your stop above the order block. So that's why I don't love this gap entry. 95 and your stop has to be up here at the 50. 55-point stop. You need a 100-point take profit, 110. So from 94 down to 694. B minus. Come on, Predator. I thought that would at least be a B plus. At least a B plus. Now, I agree with you. The problem is if I'm just taking it on one account, it's different than if you're taking it on a bunch of accounts, right? Phoenix thinks it makes sense. Yeah, I think it could make sense too. I just don't know that it'll even get there, to be honest. It may not. And plus, if you did take the entry at the 17, you could be in drawdown all the way up to the 35. That's 20 points. That's a lot of drawdown. I think it's irrelevant. It's going without it anyway. It's holding that bottom gap right now. Testing the bottom of the idiot box here. Predator says you hate to go long on days like this and hate to short at the bottom. Yeah, I'm with you there. It is the perceived bottom for sure. The entry up there at 63 certainly looks better. All right, sell volume coming in strong here. Testing the bottom of the idiot box. Are we going to pop out of there this time? We got some support down there at the 69, 70 area on the ES. It's at the 74 right now. Need it to kind of pop through that area to get moving, continue moving to the downside here. So popping back, bouncing right back up once again at the bottom of the idiot box there. ES, it did run the low by a tick. No, actually, it did not run it. It's exact double bottom there, triple bottom, whatever. It's trying to push through there though. Could have shorted right there. I mean, that still was a decent little setup, even though we are in the kind of idiot box area. Could have got short there for the break of the 90. to the bottom of the idiot box. Would have been all right. Sellers looking good there too. Volume popping back in here, trying to push this thing lower. Getting a pop back to the upside here. Pushed out the bottom of the idiot box. Closed out the bottom of it, barely. We're kind of popping back up here. Let's see if we get a proper B to C to the downside. Maybe we can participate. The ES did hit that 71 there, which is where the support is. Dun, 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 dun. Go get a burger. Go get a burger. Nothing wrong with a burger. So get a little pop back up here. Are we going to get a proper B to C leg down? Oh yeah, I didn't write that trade down earlier. What? I don't know whether to... I mean, I'm guessing I'm going to label that as a loser. It was 2-point loser. I'm just going to put that I didn't move my stop fast enough. It wasn't the not an ABC setup. Notate that. So now the explosion line is below the dead man, which I hate here because I kind of, this little push back up's got me wanting to take a short, but yeah, I'll probably eat a burger for lunch. Once again, hamburger wrap. But we are down here a little bit of support for the ES right there at the 70 area. It's kind of need to get through that area in order to continue that push down. I think it probably will. Okay, let's see if sellers come back in here. Testing the top of this skid mark. Sellers, are they coming? Are they coming? I mean, the explosion line is right at the dead man. I'm not loving that. I like for the explosion line to be slightly above it. This gives for a better, usually a little bit of better result. Oh my goodness. ES at the 74s there. Just going to wait. No point in trying to force anything, right? Let's just wait for it to make sense. We're down 360, but reality is there's just one trade here. Get one 10-point winner, and we're good on that. We'll be back to even, and one more 10-point winner, and we'll be in the green. So that's all that matters. I feel like the two losers that I took today, the one right there where I didn't move the stop fast enough, and then the one at the opening bell where the stop wasn't where it needed to be also. I have way too tight of a stop to be taking that trade at open there. So I don't feel like I've taken bad trades over here. I just feel like stop was just a bit tight. So still kind of just trading in this idiot box right here, just unable to break out of it, top or the bottom. Just got some consolidation going here. I mean, theoretically, I could move my stop. I could move this stop down to the top of this order block. Because if it breaches this order block, I wouldn't be in love with it. But I don't think it makes any sense to do that here. I think that it's pretty clear that this probably is going to sell down today. But whether or not it stops me out before it does that is kind of the question. So just leave our stop where it is, let it play out. Again, we're on the Topstep account, so even if we take a $2,000 loser, it's not the end of the world. $4,000 winner will go a lot further along the way than a $2,000 loser for sure. So if we can get that explosion line above the dead man and we get some sellers come in here, then we could take the short. But right now the explosion line's below the dead man, and we're still just kind of idiot boxing. Once again, we're in that time of day where it just doesn't, you don't get a direction. So we're not going to force anything. We're going to take our time, be patient. Let's be patient, and yeah, it'll work itself out. Sellers coming in here, once again, still below the dead man. We could mark out this idiot box just to remind us. That's what we're going to do. Let's mark it out just to remind us. I do like the look of the sell volume that's coming in right here, though. Looks a little different than what we've been seeing. Whew, we're up $2,000 on this trade over here, guys. I think that's the biggest trade I've ever had. $2,000. And sellers pushing through. ES losing that 70 area there. Down to 68. 68.50 right now. We wanted to at least get down into that 68 area so that we can lock in $2,000. That'd be nice. Can't lose at that point. So we pushed out of the idiot box there. Really kind of want to stay out of that area, right? So if we push back up, we want to stay out of the idiot box. Let's turn that into some resistance and continue to push down here. ES all the way down into the 67s now. You just shorted the 90 today, which is hard to do, right? It's hard to just take a short at those key levels. You just shorted the 90 on the ES, you're up, what, 23 handles? That's a big move there on the ES, 23 handles. That's a couple $1,000s itself just on one contract there. Pretty big, pretty big. So we want to see it kind of stay out of that idiot box. Let's continue to push down here. So the explosion line is above the dead man now. So if the sell volume comes back in strong, even though we are at the bottom, we could realistically take an entry. I don't know if I love it though. Probably just wait. So my dog is back this morning. He got a haircut yesterday, a bath, and got his nails clipped. And yeah, he's mad. He was not happy with me. He wasn't happy with me at all. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, come on. Help me out. We need subscriptions. Who else is going to show you this 5-minute gap strategy live like I do? If you're just joining us, we're up obviously on this trade right here, a couple $1,000. We're up $1,300 on another account, $800 on another, $310 on another, and then we're down $360 that you see over here on this side here. This is the copy trade accounts. I think we got 15 accounts or so linked. And I think we're down 360 on 11 of them. And maybe $100 on a few others. So still got some work to do today to get back to green there. Zoop-a-doop-boo-boo. All right, testing the 50s here. So let's see what happens. Just watching. It's testing the 50s here. Let's see if it gets through the 50s there. Gonna get a little resistance there at the 50s, is, you know, it's just kind of typical. ES back into the 60s here. 65. I was gonna take a look down. 69 is support. 54 to 58 is next down. So like I said, we're probably gonna need that 54, 58 area to get this thing moving to where we need it to be. Let's just at least get it to the 93. That way we can lock in some profits there. That would be nice. That way we could lock in some profits. Yeah, I did kind of like the look of this short setup over here as well, but obviously we didn't take that one. But I got to start taking these entries over here as well. Just trying to pay attention to what's going on over here on this other trade. There's really not much to pay attention to. It's either going to hit the target or it's not, right? It's either going to hit it or it's not. Hefe. So you're saying the 5-minute strategy is a 100-point stop and low expectancy. Low expectancy. I don't know what you mean by that. Hefe, the 5-minute strategy is about a 50% win rate, 49% in my back test. It's running at about a 55% in my forward test, and it's a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So at a 2-to-1 risk to reward, to just break even, you only have to be at a 33% win rate, 34% if you do the math. So just to break even, 34%. So at a 50% win rate, or 49, which is what it tested at, you're printing money. Target hit, being 11-month trend line, and readers can see how powerful the breakdown is. Lock in part of your gains here, 54 to 58 next down. Decent support before 42.30. No sustained bottom until 4,300 reclaims. So yeah, all I'm saying there is that based on this strategy, even though we're up 100 points, you don't lock in any profits until you're up 75% of the way. So when you're at 1.5 to 1, then you can lock in a 1 to 1. So now you can do anything you want if you're trading the strategy, but that's the stuff that I've that's what I've developed. Like I said, I mean, I could move my stop into profit and put it at the top of this order block if I wanted to. Lock in, 12, 13 handles. I mean, it should not re-pierce this order block. It should not trade back through it. If it does, we're certainly in trouble in the position. So I wouldn't imagine that it will trade back through that order block. But that's just based on my back testing and my forward testing. That's what I've came to realize there. That's what the numbers show. Again, I could put in, you could move your stop to the bottom of the order block too if you wanted to, lock in 40 handles. Could do whatever whatever you felt like you needed to do. Trust me, it's not easy for me not to just take it off right here. But if you take it off right here, you skew the numbers. You skew the results. Because let's say the next 3 days are losers, and this ended up being a $4,000 winner, and you took it off at 2,300. You might end up red on the week instead of, green because you took the trade off early. So yeah, it would certainly hurt if this thing comes back and stops me out, but I'm not going to be mad about it if it does. If it does, it does. But at a 2-to-1 risk to reward, like I said, you're doing well. You're doing well there if it wins 50% of the time. And on the 15-minute gap strategy, we do a 2.5 to 1, so it's even a lower win rate to be break even. And you get a trade on that one every single day. Every single day you are guaranteed a trade. But the idea here is if it trades through 93, then we can lock in a 1-to-1. So if it trades through 93, I'll lock in 49. That's when I'll move my stop. So we'll see what happens. Usually get a move here during lunchtime around 11:15. So in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to know whether this trade is going to be a $4,000 winner or whether we might need to consider taking the trade off, right? Taking the trade off is probably a bad idea, but may have to consider it if it pushes through this order block. Do we really want to take a $2,000 loss? Probably not, but that's why it's a mechanical strategy. You're supposed to take all the, discretion out of it. You're not supposed to think about it. Just do. Don't think. Just do. But I have been back testing the strategy. I do got some videos on my channel, Heavy, if you're interested in watching them. I don't know if you've been following it. So every Sunday I post a video on the 5-minute gap strategy. And over the last, what have we been doing? We're on week 4 or 5. Let's see. I'll write it down. Let's see what week we're on the 5-minute gap strategy there. Let's see here. We're up quite a bit. So on the 5-minute gap strategy over the last 4 weeks, you're up $8,540 if you follow the rules. You follow the rules in the outline here. So pretty solid over 4 weeks. Now 4 weeks, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's only 4 weeks. It's only 4 weeks. means nothing. So we got a pivot point down there at the 32 area. So we got a pivot down there at the 32, kind of approaching that area now. I don't know why my pivots are not showing up. Why are they not showing up here? What's going on with that? Showing up over here off screen, so it's okay, but I still see them. So we got a pivot at the 32, and then the next pivot's all the way down at the 640s. 732 and then the 640. So it's kind of slowly grinding down right now. We've traded out of the idiot box there. Turned it into a little resistance, as you guys can see. And now we're just slowly grinding down. ES pushed down to the 64s. It's popping back up there a little bit, back to the 69s. 69 was the area of support earlier, so you kind of want to see it stay below that area, turning into a little resistance now. Kind of would be the idea there. I mean, we can take a poll. Do you guys think we should, you think we should be closing the trade here? What do you guys think? Should we be taking profits, locking in profits, or should we just be following the rules? Should we follow the rules, or should we just lock something in? I mean, trust me, it's hard for me not to. I mean, we're up $2,400. That's hard to look at and not do anything. I might be over here making it look like I'm not really tempted, but I'm tempted, guys. I am definitely tempted. Predator, move the stop and let it run. Where do we move the stop to, though, Predator? That's the question. I don't know where I move it to. I mean, if I move it above the order block, are we really locking in anything? And the only other, I mean, that's really the only safe place I could think of to put the stop, right? Phoenix says, if you're happy with it, listen to your intuition. Well, I mean, do I think that we can hit 637? Yeah, I kind of do. But can we turn around and not hit that? Yeah, for sure. I don't really know where you move the stop to. I mean, I can move it to the top of this kind of consolidation area. And that would lock in like 50 handles. I guess that's like 1,000. Could move it to like there. Or actually, I guess that's not 50, is it? Nah. Something like that. If you really want to take profit, just close the mini and open some micros. I mean, it's like down here is too close. I mean, the only logical spot to me is like right there. I mean, like right there, you're locking in 50 handles. So you're locking in 1,000 if you put it right there. I guess that is almost that's like 80 handles up from where we're at. Well, realistically, I think that's an okay spot because the ES really needs to stay below that 69. If it gets above 69 there, I wouldn't love it. It's down to the 63s right now. I don't know. I think 63 is too close if I try to lock in 100 handles. It is kind of working on another order block here. If we get a little push down below this, then I might could move it to the 1-to-1 because if it closes, if this order block closes here, that might be decent. It might be an area that it kind of holds. Problem is moving the stop is you get stopped out and then it keeps going. You'll probably get annoyed. And then if you close the mini and open 5 micros, you close some profit. You can stick with the plan. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be annoyed. It's just one of those things. I think I'll move it to here. It's kind of working on an order block there, so. All right, so right there, that's 110 handles. So that's $2,200. It's almost 1-to-1. I mean, I don't want to give the money back. That's the thing. You don't want to give it back, but then again, it might pierce up, stop me out, and then go. This might be a little too close. Let's see what the ES is doing here. ES popped back up there a little bit, tested that 69 area. See if this thing will continue to sell down here. Let's see, another 100 points from here to here. I think this is a little too close. We'll leave it at 100 points. So we'll lock in $2,000 there. If it stops us, it stops us. I think we're in an okay spot there. The ES, as long as it stays below that 69 area, we shouldn't get tagged out there. And let's just make it through that 93 and we can just move it down a little more. Lock it in. $63, let's see, $863 to $637. So what is that? That's 240 points almost. To be honest, though, I mean this is an odd. Yeah, no, this is Topstep. I got the Apex account over here off stream. This Topstep, so we're not worried about the drawdown on this one. I do like the fact that it's creating another order block here. I want to see this thing push through the lows, though. 25 really solidify that order block there. Then we can move it down to 1-to-1, and if it pierces that order block, let's get it through the 25s there. I will lock in the 1-to-1 then, and I feel better about it. Yeah, I don't have to worry about the drawdown juker. I switched over to the Topstep on these strategies because I'm still using the Apex as well. But I switched over to the Topstep. That way I don't have to worry so much about the drawdown. So I already took it off on the Apex account because, just can't afford to have that one come back and stop us out. So ES pushing the 62s here. Sellers trying to come through. Right there at that pivot point once again. 32 area. Got to get through there strong. Yeah, I switched over to 150K Topstep account for these strategies because I just don't want to have to worry about the drawdown. And I know the profit target is larger. You got to get $9,000, but you got 4,500 in end-of-day drawdown. And I think that's going to work best, especially for this 5-minute strategy for sure. You can manage the 15-minute one on a 50K account, Topstep, and on Apex really, I think too, or Bulenox. Hard to do that on this 5-minute strategy using a mini. I really want to see this pierce through the 25s there, and let's kind of solidify this order block that we got going on there. Doesn't look like it wants to do it. Holding up there at the pivot so far at the 32s. At the 32s, ES pushed down to the 62. Kind of got a little consolidation going on here. Little consolidation. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. If you're not yet subscribed, do me a favor. Subscribe. It helps the channel. We have not gained any subscribers today. We're stuck at the same number we were at when we started. 338. So yeah, I feel okay about where my stop is right now. I really would like it to push on down, though, obviously, get away from the stop. That's the only thing. It's like, okay, you're locking in 100, but then it could push down another 100, right? That's kind of the kick in the pants. So ES pushed down to the 62, hanging out there at the 63 right now. It's kind of grinding lower. This is that time of day where we kind of get a direction. So if we do get stopped out, it's probably okay because that means we're probably pushing back up. Hey, the dog, somebody subscribed. The dog is going barking. Thank you, Verodoc. We appreciate it. Maxie. He's like, that is a noise I am unfamiliar with. And he's barking at it. All right. Starting to sell down here. Just trying to push the lows. See if it can do it. ES down to the 62. Just grinding here. Just kind of consolidating right down here. You can look at the 1-minute chart. I mean, look at these candles. I mean, this is not really anything exciting. Not really anything exciting. Just kind of idiot boxing right here. Can mark it out over here on the 1 minute there. Just kind of staying in that area. So we got this top at the 63, which is kind of the bottom of this idiot box. The one it traded out of. So you really want to see it just hold this idiot box and kind of try to move lower. ES pushing back up into the 67s here. Trying to manage the trade within reason. I know that, like I told you, there's not supposed to be any real discretion, but you're up a couple $1,000, you have to consider that, right? You have to take that into consideration. So we should get a move here soon. I'd imagine the next 5 minutes we're either going to be stopped out at 63 or we're going to be testing that 700 level, one or the other. Might be both. We might get stopped out at 63 and then test the 700 level. You never know. But usually in that 11:10 to 11:20 a.m. area, we get a move. Gray Intersection says, does anyone know if you can change Quantower if you're currently using Ninja with Apex? Yeah, of course. Juker said he hopes it dumps. He'll get himself some dinner. Sounds good. Yeah, Juker's answered it and said you could use both, right? He's right. As long as it's rhythmic, you can use both. That's all that matters. Now, if you have, you're currently using Ninja. Okay, yeah, so it is rhythmic. All right, so we're starting to get a little push here. Testing the top of the box. We want it to dump. ES back up to the 67 here. So if you guys haven't already, hit the like button for me. Once again, if you're not subscribed, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Now we can kind of start taking a look over here at the Ninjarinko strategy that we got going on, and we can consider taking an entry there. 90% off Apex, guys, right there. There's the link. 90% off. Coupon code down below. And the link as well. 90% off Bulenox as well. It's kind of holding up here at the 40 right now. I'm expecting something to happen here soon. ES at the 67. Want that ES to hold below that 69. I don't even really want it to get to the 69, to be honest. Kind of bear flagging here down at the bottom, getting tighter and tighter. Look how small those 3-minute candles are getting. The bodies of the candle there. See how small these candles are getting? Surely something's going to happen momentarily. I know what we prefer to happen. Oops. We know what we prefer to happen. That's not what we prefer to happen. The other direction. The other direction, Price. You're supposed to listen to me. No. The other way. ES up to the 68.25 area here. Got to hold below 69. If it pops 69, we'll definitely get stopped. Need it to just kind of turn around right here and get back to the lows at the 62s. All the way down into the 50, 54, 55 area would be nice. That probably would give us what we need to lock in a 1-to-1, at least. It's at 68.50. Hmm. 69, 70, 71. That's not the direction we wanted to see. Got to reject here. We are going to get stopped. Back down to the 69s. Trying to test the top of the idiot box there. Again, we already locked in 100 points, so we're not going to be mad about it. But obviously we want it to sell. All right, rejected the 70 there. Back down to the 67. Back into the idiot box. Maybe just running some stops. I don't know. Holding up at that trend line, though. The 3-minute chart that we drew there. You want it to lose that area if it's going to. Buyer's trying to pop right back in. ES still down at the 68. Need the sellers to come on in here and let's get this nice waterfall, this elevator down that Juker talks about, or I think it's Juker. He says, stair step up, elevator down. I'm waiting on the elevator. Where's that elevator? Somebody hit the button on the elevator. Let's go down. Let's take it down, not up. All right, I see a little, well, we saw a little sign of life right there from the sellers for a moment. But just for a moment, we saw a sign of life. Drop my top. I mean, no real volume to speak of right here, to be honest. Seller's trying to pop back in here now. ES hanging out right there at the 68s. Like I said, really need that ES to hold below 70 to get going here. Holding up at the 68s. Let's push down. Let's get going. Need that 54. There's 67. 66. All right, we like it. We like it. I see you. Seller's trying to pop in here. 65 on the ES. $64. Here we go. About to test the 63s. Sellers looking good. They're above the explosion line. Explosion line's not above the dead man yet, but that's all right. Come on. You got more. No messing around. No double, triple bottoms here. Let's just get through there. Let's just get through there. Seller's still looking okay here. ES holding up there at the 64. Really got to push through there. Low at 62 on the ES. Really need to push through there. Sellers popped in there for a moment. Now they're disappearing a little bit. We do got that pivot point there at the 32. It's kind of what it bounced off of. Bouncing off that 32 for a moment here. I feel like it's probably going to push through there. We'll see. I think that's what's making the ES bounce a little bit as well. So I really want to hold below this 40 area here now. Let's not get going. Let's not get too crazy. Buyers try to pop in there for 1 second. I want to take a short here, but that pivot's right there at the 32's got me concerned from hitting the button. Not supposed to trade into the pivot. I did that yesterday several times, and it cost me. So let's just wait. The volume comes in strong. Sell volume comes in strong. We're above the dead man here. Not a lot, but we are above it. Sell volume comes in strong. We break through the pivot there at the 32. Then maybe we participate. Maybe. All right. Explosion line moving below the dead man now, so that's going to kill that idea. ES back to the 64s here. Back to the 64s. We need the ES to get below the 60s there to really start moving down here. Sell volume came in there for a moment and then just kind of disappeared, kind of like the buy volume did. It's just staying in this idiot box. I mean, you guys can see right here. We popped out the top for a moment. We tested the bottom. And we're right back in it. Right back in it. So below the dead man now with the explosion line. Sellers are coming in here, but we are below the explosion line. So it's going to keep us out of this trade for any on any of the other accounts for now. Testing the 30 here on the NAS. Let's get a push through that low a day there at the 25s. Here comes the sell volume. ES down to the 62s right here. Want to see that ES get down below the 60s, get into that low 50 area would be nice. I think that would give us what we need to lock in the 1-to-1 and give us enough energy to maybe hit the target down there. Maybe hit the target. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably the longest I've ever held a trade. Probably. What do we get shorted about 10:05, 10:10 this morning? 10:15, I don't know, something like that. 10:15. So an hour and 15 minutes. We just don't do that. We just don't do it. So ES down to the 62s. You really want to see it push through here. Kind of double bottom there. I don't love it. This might stop us out if this thing pops up to the 68, 69 area again. It's not going to be enough room for it to do that. We're kind of failing to push below that pivot strong so far. So I want to see it stay inside this idiot box. You can test the top, but just don't get out of there with any strength. Man, I'm getting a buy signal over here on the Rinko chart. We're not going to take that. Actually, kind of surprised it gave me a buy signal there. Well, the background's still red, so technically. And it's trying to pop. So we get the stop up there at the 63s. Let's see if we can hold below the 50 here. Rejected it once there. ES back up to the 67. ES is in an idiot box also, but it's, 7-8 points. Kind of surprised we haven't made a move yet. I mean, it's 11:30. Usually by this time we've made a move. Usually by this time you've gotten the lunchtime direction. It really hasn't told us anything yet. 11:30 still not happening. All right, sellers might be popping back in here. Let's watch this. Trying to get a look at the explosion line without having to zoom in. It's still, yeah, it's below the dead man, so I'm not going to take it. Almost took it, and also forgot about the pivot. Almost shorted right there, right into that pivot. That wouldn't have turned out good. All right, kind of popping here. ES, volume coming in here. ES up to the 67s. Still below the dead man. Might get stopped here. ES at the 67.50. Holding up there at the 67.50. This pivot's just holding us up. Just stuck between the pivot and the 32. The pivot and the 50, the whole number there, the 50. So. Gotta go one way or the other. One way or the other. Testing my patience, I can tell you that much. Sellers pushing in here. Still below the explosion line, or below the dead man. As long as we're below the dead man, it's kind of hard for me to do anything over here. And also right there at the pivot at 32. All right, we've tested this pivot too many times. This thing's, we got to get through here this time. It's weaker now. ES just tested the low there at 62. It needs to push through there. Don't want to be doing a little double, triple bottom down here on the ES. Let's get through the 62s there. Testing it once again. So can I push 2? Thanks, excommunicado. Trying to follow the rules. We've already broken the rules a little bit by moving the stop. Not really supposed to move it until we sweep the 93. But I think we got it in a spot where it's okay. All right, ES losing that 60. Finally. Oh, my goodness, finally. We're finally losing the pivot here. Making new lows down to the 20. Sellers coming in. Looking strong here. ES down to the 59. Want to get that ES down to the 55s. 54, 55 area. Down to the 19s. Now we need to hold below that pivot at the 32s. That's kind of the idea. Let's hold below the pivot. We push below it. Let's turn that pivot into some resistance here and continue lower. It's also the bottom of the idiot box there. ES back to the 59.75, testing that 60 there. 59.25, I think, is the low. Want to see the sell volume come on in here and just continue to push this thing down. There it comes. We're above the dead man now with the sell volume looking nice above the explosion line right now. So I want to get pushed through that whole number quickly here. ES still testing the lows here at 59.25, holding up there at the 60. Got to get it pushing through here. Sellers kind of went away here for a moment, so I made a little push back up. Maybe test that pivot and then continue lower. Potentially. ES down to the lows once again, 58s. Are the sell volume just going to come right back in here or what? So ES tapped the 58 area there. Explosion line back to the dead man here. So I want to hold below that pivot. We don't want to get back above the pivot here. Let's hold below it. Continue to push down. Stay out of that idiot box. If we trade back into the idiot box, then won't be a great look. Below the dead man now, so nothing to do as far as on the other accounts. I almost jumped in right there, but we were testing the bottom of the idiot box, so I didn't want to take it. Pushing down here still, 17.25 being the low, ES down to the 58.25. A little buy volume coming in here. So the ES down to the 58.25 is kind of holding up right there for now. 58 to 54 is kind of support there on the ES. So there's an area where it may take a little time to get through. If we lose that 54 though, this could be a nice waterfall down. I think the next resistance is all the way down at the 20 on the ES. So got to get through this 58 area, 54 to 58 area on the ES there. Down to 57 right now. Seller's trying to pop back in here. Again, we want to see this thing push through the 90, because once we push through the 90, we can lock in the 1-to-1. And at that point, we're following the rules, and we don't have to worry about anything. So all the way down to the 12s now. All the way down to the 12s. So the ES bouncing off the 57s. We know it's going to take a little effort for it to get through there. $54 to 58 is kind of a support area there on the ES. Need it to get through the 54s there. It gets through the 54s and we're off to the races at that point. It's kind of grinding lower here. Kind of grinding lower. Got some buy volume coming in here. I do think I'm going to go ahead and lock in the 1-to-1. Reason being, we got the 50 here. The pivot's at 32. So if we get back above that pivot and we test the 50, then, you know. So 863 to 750. That's 113 handles. Actually, we'll move this up slightly. 53. 53.75. Kind of getting back above the pivot there. Don't love that. So bouncing off the 57s there. So locking in $2,200. Can't lose. But I really want to see this thing get down into that 90 area so that we can, I feel better about locking it in. I don't like locking it in here, breaking the rules. If I lock it in at 93 and it stops us, I'm completely fine with that. But I don't like locking it in before we're supposed to. So let's hold below this pivot at 32. Let's kind of reject it here. Push back down. Get above the pivot, then we're most certainly probably going to get stopped out. So you kind of want to see the buyers disappear here, but they're not. They are not disappearing. Starting to slow down a little bit. A little bit. ES popped off that 57 up to the 62 there. Good move, good move. Well, we hope so. Probably going to get stopped out, but it's fine. Even if we do, it's fine. I mean, we're still locking in $2,200. Can't complain, right? We were up 1,000 yesterday, so that'll put us up 3,200 for the week. 3,200, but the buyers are kind of disappearing here. It's kind of rejecting that pivot. I like it. See if this is like a B leg back down or a proper B to C. I think this looks like a B to C to me. We're going to participate. Hopefully we don't get punished. Come on, sellers. Oh my gosh. Sellers are disappearing. Trying to give it a moment here. Probably should be closing it, but come on, sellers. Yeah, that hurts. Took a short inside the idiot box. And like when I took that short, we were above the explosion. The explosion line was above the dead man, but then the very next, like 2 candles later, it went below it. So probably that was kind of stupid. Right at the pivot too. I shorted as we went through the pivot, but that is still at the pivot. It's too close. Not supposed to be taking a position there. So we really have like one more entry on that. It's got to be a winner. It's got to be a winner over here. If it's not, then we're going to shut these accounts down for the day. And of course, now the sellers will come through, right? All right, I'm not going to take the trade. We're at the pivot. We're at the pivot. Broke the rules there. Got punished. Punished. That's the thing. 2 of the 8-point losses that I took this morning, I don't hate. Just took a different kind of trade on those, different kind of strategy, and they stopped me out. They hit my stop before I was able to move it. Seller's trying to come in here. Let's see. Let's see. Dead man still below the, explosion line still below the dead man. Once again, if you guys are new here, we do stream 5 days a week. for the New York session. I'm trying to work the London session back in. I haven't gotten it yet. My sleep schedule's just been wacky. So I've been having a hard time sleeping at night. So haven't thrown that back into the mix yet, but eventually probably will. But if you are new and you currently subscribed, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel. So we're pushing above the pivot here. Looks like we might be getting going here. Maybe back to the upside a bit. Maybe some sort of retracement. See, stop at the 53.75 there, locking in 2,200 if it hits it. But looking for about $4,400, $4,500 if it hits the target down there at the 37s. That would be ideal. But right now it's just kind of in this idiot box. I don't love that it pushed back up into the idiot box and it's kind of hanging out there. I don't love it. Don't love it. So the explosion line's still below the dead man. But I forgot what I was saying there. Yeah, if you guys are interested in trading futures, then consider signing up for Topstep, APEX, or Bulenox. APEX currently has 90% off sale, as does Bulenox. Link and coupon code in the description below. We also have the link for the Topstep down there too. So not really making a move. Kind of surprising, right? Usually at this time of day, we've gotten a direction. It pushed down. Now it's kind of pushing back up here. We haven't really gotten a direction. We pushed back up into this idiot box, and we're kind of hanging out there right now. Really choppy. I mean, look at this 1 minute chart over the last, what, hour? Yeah, about an hour. Well, actually, we can come all the way back to here. Yeah, I guess that's exactly an hour from here to here. Just nothing. And then previous hour before that are, what, 30 minutes? 10:45 to 10:30. Yeah. So the past hour and a half, we kind of, one idiot box, traded out of it into another idiot box, and just that's where we're at. There's real sideways action. No real direction. Seller's trying to pop in here strong now. All right, we're going to take it over here on the Buley account. Probably shouldn't, to be honest with you, because I don't love it, but we're going to take it anyway, as it says to. And going to get punished. Going to get punished. Come on, sellers. Come on down. Collect your prize. Collect your prize. All right, I'm going to move my stop into a profit here. So can't lose. Might get stopped. Target down at the 18. Stop at the 26. All right, stopped out there. For like $80. Didn't really make, I don't even know what we got there. Oh, $180. Is that right? 28.50. No, 26. Okay, yeah. So it was just $80. $80. I probably shouldn't have moved the stop, but you know, we were kind of approaching the bottom of the idiot box there, and we know what happens there sometimes. So we're up 380 on that account. Obviously down 680 on the copy accounts, which is feels bad. So we got the explosion line above the dead man now. ES pulling back into the 59s. Still just chopping around here, testing the bottom of the idiot box here. I'd like for it to sell, obviously, for, you know, all the reasons you guys see there. Okay, sellers coming through here. Of course, the dead man and the explosion line right there together, making it hard to do anything. Really got to get out of this idiot box area and just turn this into some resistance and move down. It's just been painful. It's just been painful to watch here. I mean, it's not that bad. I'm short from 100 points up, so, but got a lot of buyers coming in here, testing the pivot once again. I don't love the way these buyers look. I don't like the look in their eye. I don't like it. Don't like the look of the buyers here. So we retested the 57s there on the ES and bouncing right out of there on this back up to the 62s. Got to reject this pivot here. Stay below the pivot. Slightly above it right now, but we got to turn back down. That's what we got to do right there. Turn it back down. Explosion line below the dead man. Otherwise, I would have taken that short. Oh, my goodness. This is just chop, guys. What's going on here? I expected a move. I wanted a move. Painful, painful, painful. Nice sellers coming in here now. Testing the bottom of the idiot box there. That's the thing is, like, as soon as you think you're going to break out of that idiot box, it just comes right, the buyers come right back in and just fight you off. They just fight you off. All right, this looks like an ABC to the downside over here on the 10-second chart. Kind of bounced there a few times, though. All right, this might be the last trade, guys, if this ain't a winner. Winner, winner, winner. This might be the last trade on this account for the day. See the sellers come in here and push this on down. Just looking for the 10s. Nothing crazy. We're going to move our stop into profitos here. Come on. Push. Down. I don't know what's going on here, this thing. Just kind of lightsabered down and then right back up. And then right back down again. But during that sequence, the explosion line moved below the dead man, making it difficult for me to participate. He has kind of double bottoming there at the 57s. Little pushback up here. I might take a little bit of a short here. I may put my stop up here at the 37s above the pivot and kind of target that whole number down here. Let's see. That's what I'm thinking about doing. If we get a little pushback up here. All right, we're going to try a little scalp here. Stop kind of needs to be up here at the 32s. Let's see if this might, might not be a great idea. Gotta hold this area and sell back down. Get back into the idiot box. I'm not gonna love it. Kind of target this O2 area here. All right, come on. Push down. Sellers coming in here. Come on. Oh, come on. Don't stop me out. I want the O2s. More sellers, come on. Well, we tried. We tried. Yes, failed to make a new low there. I think that was probably the problem with that look. Buyers pushing in here. I'm going to go ahead and lock in that 1-to-1. Pushing back up into the idiot box here. I don't love that. Pivot at 32s. ES pushing back up into the 62s off the 57s. Need this thing to hold below the pivot once again. It's kind of the line in the sand there. Pivot at 32s, we want to kind of stay below it. It can wick above it, but we want to stay below it with the bodies of the candles there. This could be like an ABC to the upside here on the 1 minute. Don't love the look of that, to be honest. He is still just idiot boxing here. Might be in trouble here, pushing above the, what you call it there? Pivot. Pushing above the pivot. I don't love that volume there. So I'm probably going to get stopped here, looks like. Back above the pivot. I'm going to need to turn back down and turn back down quick. Otherwise, we're going to be stopped, I think, for 2250 or something like that. Volume looking strong here. Holding the below the 50 for now. Need to get back below that pivot if we're going to get below the pivot there. Test to the top of the idiot box. Oh, volume's trying to come back through here. Probably going to kill us right here. Rick Sanchez, just curious, how long have you been trading? Do you only trade prop firms?
Stop field.
Oh, stopped out there. I've been trading for about a year, Rick, thereabouts. And no, I have an account that I just funded, and we will be trading that one. I've traded live accounts before, so. But I do have an account that I just funded. Then we put some more money in, so I am currently just trading the prop firms, but to start off, I didn't even trade a prop firm. I traded a live account to start. And we gave up some money doing that. So then we started doing the prop firms, but I'm starting, so I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm thinking of doing like 3 accounts with 5K each in them, and I'm going to trade 3 different. I'll take the 15-minute breakout on one, the 5-minute strategy on the other, and then trade the ABCs on the third. It's kind of what I'm thinking. So stopped out there, $2,265. Will we be disappointed if it runs to the target? Yes, slightly, because then that would be a $4,400 winner. So let's mark the target out here. It was 37. So we'll see how this would have played out. At this line, we would have moved our stop to this line. And then from here to here, we would either get the full target or we would have got stopped out where we did. So we're going to see how this would have played out. I put this line here because that's originally where I put my stop before I moved it to lock in the 1-to-1. Just curious if we would have got stopped out there. Does look like we're going to get some sort of retracement here. ES back up to the 69 area, and that's kind of the line in the sand there that we talked about earlier. If this thing pops that 69, we really could get going back up into the whole number. But if it holds below 69 and it doesn't stop us here, we might feel a little bad about it. But there's nothing we can do about it now, right? So we're down 535 over here on these other accounts. Got to work on those. Like I said, we really got one more entry to try to get those where we need them to be. Otherwise, we have to put those away for the day. But not a bad entry there. I mean, we got short there at the 863. We took profit at 750. That's 113 handles. I want to say that's probably the most handles I've ever captured in a single trade. So can't be too mad about it. We are up on this account. So current equity 153,315. We're 2 days into this account, and the profit target's 9,000. So we're a third of the way there. Don't expect that to continue, right? You're going to have some ebbs and flows, obviously. So, but I'm going to take my dog out, and I'll be right back. Give me 10 minutes, and I'll be back, maybe 15. All right. We're back. So push back up into the 75s there, looks like. 75, 75s. Okay. It's kind of got above that pivot there. Now she's pushing. Where did the ES go to? So the ES got above that 69 area. Let's see if it's going to make it stick. It pushed up into the 74. Retesting that 69 area now. Just watching here. Let's see. I'm going to customize this thing over here a little bit. I'm going to try something a little different. So we're going to go. We are going to try something a little different. All right. Seller's trying to push in here. Right there at the 50 though. Let's see if this thing makes it stick or if it pops back above the 50. So far it looks like it's trying to make it stick. Seller's still looking pretty good.
Order submitted.
Pushing back up above the 50 here. Let's see if the sellers come back in and push this thing back down or not. Feels like they might. It's kind of holding up there at the 50. Buyers popping back through here. Can it push the 60s? Let's see. Here come some buyers. Buy volume pulling back a little bit. I don't know how I keep getting my dead man moved in the wrong spot. But we do. Somehow. Some way, somehow, we get it in the wrong spot. So ES still holding up there at the 69s, trying to push. Or the seller's going to come back in and kind of push this thing down, or is this thing going to continue to push up? Hard to know. Could kind of go either way. Looks. Sally. All right. I don't think. So right here at the whole number, right here at the 50, seller's trying to push through. So we push back up. We got some kind of like some consolidation going on here. I think this probably looks pretty decent for a sell back off, to be honest with you guys. Probably should have just left my stop where it was originally, or at least put it up at the 48 above that order block there. I think that would have been a fair spot to put it. The most fair. But we locked in what we locked in. Not going to be mad about it. Got to get, $2,200 better than a loser. That's for sure. But we do kind of work our way back up into this 18-19 area. I do think I will take a short. Woo! Had to sneeze there. I mean, realistically, though, this price action's been dreadful. Pretty dreadful today. Trying to push again. Can we push the 66s here? Can we push the 66s? Let's see. The volume says maybe. Not quite. Not quite. Explosion line right there at the dead man, so not much to do. ES still fighting to get above the 70. Really unable to do it so far. And that was a little pullback, and then the volume spiked through there nice and strong. That was interesting. Kind of interesting there. What happened? We had a nice little lightsaber of volume come in there. It was a push up. You guys see there, it lightsabered up. I want to take this long here, but let's see what would have happened. 66. It's probably going to hit 76 since that's where the target would have been. Volume's not looking super strong though. The explosion line was awfully close to the dead man, so I didn't take it. There comes some volume. ES kind of pushing the 75s there as well. Trying to get going. There, this thing pops back up. We already got the order on the book there. Tagged us in. Oh, come on. Gots to go if she's gonna go. Come on, let's go. Well, that wasn't a good trade. I didn't wait. We didn't wait there for the volume. We tried to take it before the volume came in. ES up to the 74s there. Seller's trying to push through here. Nice sell volume here. Didn't take it because we're trading into the 50. So trying to follow the rules. Really, I really probably shouldn't even be taking any more trades on these accounts. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna up the ante and do what we're not supposed to do. Gonna look for a 10-point winner with 2 contracts, and yeah. Well, actually, it'll be 4 contracts. Get these accounts back to even, or take them down in flames. Okay, I got a little low-to-low trend line there. Look for a little pushback up. Maybe even 55. There's 55. Let's see. All right. Gots to go if you're gonna go. Not going. Trying to give it a minute here to pop. I mean, it feels like it wants to go. But the volume is kind of dying. All right, I'm probably going to call it a day there, guys. I'm not super happy with how I'm trading these accounts, and I got some stuff to do. So we're down 1,000. We're just going to call it there, lock it in, be done with it. We'll be back live tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Do appreciate you guys watching. If you are watching and you're not yet subscribed, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for me. And we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.